Good morning, family. You're welcome to our HJ talk show. And our guest for today is this wonderful second generation couple, Yeonhee and Masa Mwambo. Our sister Yeonhee, I'm sure most of us know her. She's from Nigeria here. And her husband Masa, he's from Malawi. So they connected today all the way from America to join us on today's talk show. I'm so happy to have you here. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so we all know that before we begin this talk show, we always sip our wine. And you'll be like, will there be wine today? Don't worry, we'll not let distance stop us. So we're just going to, cheers to our wine virtually. Cheers! Yes. Okay. So let's get right into business. Okay, so Masa, I would like you to, explain to us what the blessing means to you.
Yep. As a kid growing up in our church, I've always looked up to the blessing. It's something my parents did. It's what made me to be me. So, I was looking for fulfillment of the blessings. The second blessing, as the divine principle says. So it's another form of human growth. It's not only finding love, but also finding responsibility. It's also the three generations. It's everything. So I was looking to build that side of me. I know it comes with also responsibility and all that, and I felt I was at that time when I can do it. So that's what blessing has always meant to me: growth.
Okay, so the blessing to you is growth and fulfilling like the three great blessings, as we all know. So as a second gen, the blessing to you is taking another step. Is like the next step to growth. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we are second generations. Before we start the blessing, we have to go through different processes, unlike our parents that just have to submit their picture, and as they see it, they have to accept it with faith. But for us, we have to go through process with support of our parents, and our leaders also. So Yeonhee, I would like you to just explain to us how that process was for you, and what are some of the challenges you faced.
Well, honestly, before I even talk about the matching process and everything, I really just want to appreciate Heavenly Parents and True Parents. I really feel like before I even say the matching process was like this, was like that, I feel like God guided me throughout everything. Yeah. God was there God was there before then. God was preparing me for that time. Everything just led up to that moment. Honestly, I've never felt so connected. I'm not one to be, dreaming about things, having spiritual encounters or whatever. But for the first time in my life, that's when I felt like God had been guiding me through, and God has led me. That was just really it was really a turning point, honestly. It was just a point where I just feel like, this is the point. This is God has been leading me to this moment, honestly. So I really, really, I'm really grateful to True Parents. I'm really grateful for, this journey that we have been on as second generations. And, I really felt like the struggle was worth it, although it wasn't really much of a struggle, but, so many challenges, we passed through as second generation. So many, even living in this outside world, trying to blend in, sometimes we feel like we're different. Sometimes we feel like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing by obeying my parents? Sometimes it really just feels like you're obeying your parents, it's not, sometimes you don't feel like, oh, you are fulfilling the three great. Those things you don't really think about them so much, but it's more of like you're obeying your parents. Your parents said don't do this, so you're not doing it.
As we're just born into it, we just made it. We didn't really have that, encounter that our parents had. So yes.
Yeah. Honestly, you're not really thinking about those things, so for me it was just like, I have to listen to my parents, I have to follow what they're doing. And so it was being in the outside world and seeing how different it is, it's a struggle, But at that point, honestly, when the matching process started, when it started, I was, I felt God led me up to this moment.
Yeah.
All those things I did, it was for me to meet this person. I felt like God, I fulfilled my part. God has fulfilled his part. And, it was really such a beautiful thing. So how was the matching process? The matching process was easy, honestly. It was very easy. It was really just meant to be. And I never knew Masa before. Unlike other people who you might not know them, but you know them on Facebook. You've seen their names and you're like, oh, this person has a Korean name, they're second generation. So you just see their names. I never saw his name on Facebook. I never knew about his existence, honestly. But it was the parents matching. My parents knew his parents, so it was just a conversation was just going on. Before they mentioned us, there was just some conversations going on, and it just they just happened to mention us, and it's like, oh yeah, let's connect them, and it happened like that, and we are here today. So now, what are some of the challenges? A challenge I think we faced was, I think, the distance. He was in the US. That was last year. We started talking last year. I was in Korea then. So yeah, it was so far away. There was no hope of meeting, at least at that time. So yeah, it was quite challenging, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. I know where we are coming from. We're coming from a place where people just, it was pictures. Some people didn't even get pictures. Some people didn't get pictures. Some of our parents didn't get pictures. So you don't know. You just know that you have a wife somewhere. It's so crazy. People on the outside world, they it's like, how do you marry somebody you've never seen? You have a wife somewhere, but you've never met them.
Yeah.
And at least we had video call.
And we have phone calls. Our parents had to use letters and then wait before they receive their reply. So, okay, thank you so much. For us, our parents usually, when they apply for the blessing, they get their person and they have to accept. But for us, it's kind of different. I think we always have an advantage. I'm grateful for that. We have an advantage, we can have table discussion with our parents and be like, okay, is this person okay? Is this person not okay? So, Masa, what else were some of the qualities, you were looking for or you had in mind, like when going through the matching process for who you wanted your wife to be? What were some of the qualities?
Yep, I should say some of the things I was looking, or I should say some of the things really I found very important for me when I was talking to Yeonhee in the early days was looking for someone I can have a conversation with, as simple as that. Yeah, and I think it may look easy, but it's rare to have someone you can share any conversation with, spiritual topic, funny comment, everything, So, and I'm gonna just extend this to everybody else. If you find someone who you can have a conversation with, you're probably on a good path to finding a good spouse. So yeah, so that was the number one quality. And I should say, and when I say conversation, I mean everything, including spiritual things. So it would just be all the conversations, because we being in the church, it's easy to assume that we know how we believe and what we believe, but for us we had to even discuss all that, from the whole divine principle, Master, what do you find dear to yourself, and then I would talk about different topics. For me, it was the topic of kind and able, and how it was well described in the divine principle. And me being a firstborn, I found it different. Cain, but
you're Cain.
Cain, but the more I learned all that, the more my heart grew. So that really created one of my strongest my strongest roots in the divine principle and the church in general. So she noticed that and also I had to learn what her favorite part is. She talked about predestination. So it's always nice when you find someone you can talk about everything. Yeah. And for me, that was my number one quality. And of course, from there, Yeonhee is an amazing person. So talking about a very broad experience, having spent so many years in different parts of Nigeria, so many years in Korea. So I find myself just fascinated by that rich amount of human experience. I'm just drawn to that. What she studied, and how and what she picked the most out of what she studied. All those are things I just fell in love with, But so there is more, but a conversation for me was my number one place. Thank you.
Finding your best friend in one person is very important because you are going to be together for the rest of your life. So you guys have to be and besties. Okay, so yes.
You have to be best friends. And from the first day I knew, she was my best friend. So I tell her everything. So I agree with that point.
Okay, so can we just cheers to you guys' friendship and love? Cheers.
Besties.
Okay. So Yeonhee. So I just want to ask you, after receiving the blessing, because most of the time I always hear, once you get married, it's a new feeling, you become a whole different person, you feel you glow. There's this, new wedding glow. So I want to just ask, how has the blessing, affected you spiritually, emotionally, and just, life in general? How has the blessing affected your life?
Honestly, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. It's something I've never experienced before. Being single forever. Not having any. Okay, first of all, there's a point of just doing things on your own. Really, of course, you have your parents, you have your family, you have your friends. But when you go to bed at night, it's just you. It's just you and your mind thinking by yourself. It's just you making your decisions at the end of the day. But ever since I got into this process and I went on this journey, yes, it's been different. I don't feel like one person anymore. It's beautiful. I don't know if it's gonna change later, but for now, it's beautiful to just have someone, who you can think about every day, who you can call every day, who you can just make decisions with, make plans with, everything. We're doing it together. So right now, it's really beautiful. I also feel like I'm a different person in terms of, just growing as a person. Sometimes when you live together with somebody, you kind of get a lot of attributes of that person. So even when we're just having a conversation and I'm expressing my opinion or just maybe my emotions, maybe something happened at work and I'm like, oh my god, this happened, and then he just says something and it just really changes how I think, and I'm just like, oh yeah, what, you're right. And I think I should think about that more often. So I really feel like I'm growing so much as a person through the blessing, and just I think maybe through him as a person, like he's really helping me and really helping me grow, into a better person. So yeah, it's beautiful.
You see that you no longer think about just you have somebody else to also think about. Just like he said that the blessing, is about growth. So you grew from, just me, myself, and I to like both of us to we. They usually say that when you hear them say we, you know that you guys are legit. So yeah. Okay. So now we are almost done. We're at the last question. So this time I want to get the inside gist, So can you share with us some of your best and wonderful moments after the blessing, So best and wonderful moments after the blessing.
Oh, it's after the blessing. Okay, even before the blessing, there are more moments. Okay, so I'm gonna say, one of the most special moments was when she just traveled to the US. So just to give you a background, I had been talking to Yeonhee I had been talking to Yeonhee for a year before we met in person, and by then she was in Korea. Then she moved to Nigeria. So for so many months, for someone you talk to every day, yeah, it was painful to not see her for that long. And eventually, when she had to travel, very long flight, yeah, and I had to buy a ticket of next day. So we met in New Jersey. Yeah, it was a special moment. Yeah, it was noticing all that beauty outside the phone. Yeah, for me, yeah, it was a very special moment.
She's blushing.
Yeah, it was very special. But way before that, just us in the early days of talking to each other.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very surreal for me to find someone I can share everything with. Yeah, someone I can bounce my ideas with. Someone I can, we can always find advice in each other. Yeah, so that was a very beautiful moment. I felt, I don't want to be too dark and say lonely, but yeah, I felt not lonely.
So just realizing that your own person is finally with you in person. That was your moment. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll let her give hers, but I think those are the ones who stand out for me.
Okay. So for me, it's the same thing. We've not had so many experiences in person. So the most memorable one right now is meeting for the time. And for him, he describes it as so surreal and she's so beautiful in person, whatever. But for me, it was kind of strange. It was I don't know what happened. Maybe it was the nerves. But when I saw him at first, I was like, "Who is this? The person I've been talking to for months?" Yeah, and it's not like he looked so different. It's just okay. Maybe the voice sounded a little more different, but
You were just trying to take it.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, and I remember before we met, we would always talk because we talked for months. We were really dying to see each other, and we would say like, oh, the first day we meet, that I would run and then I would jump and then we would hug each other. But it was the complete opposite of that. I wanted to run the other way. Yeah. Because I was shy, I was nervous, and but now we laugh about it, so it's a beautiful moment. But yeah, it was funny, and yeah, but I definitely think that we're going to have more amazing moments. The best moments are yet to come, anyway. But yeah, it was so special, just like he said, the first days of talking to just realizing like, wow, I found my person. And this is my best friend, and this is the person God prepared for me. It was beautiful, honestly, and just thinking about our parents as well. And we don't want to forget our parents, the struggle that they've been through. And it's difficult to now just thinking about it, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be a parent one day. I'm just trying to think like how difficult it was for my parents to raise us. And sometimes we don't listen. And so we don't want to forget to appreciate our parents and how they brought us to this place, and they are the ones who they deserve the credit, honestly. So yeah, I'm grateful to them. Yeah.
Wow, that was nice. Okay, so recently our wonderful and amazing couple here had their court wedding. And I would just want to share with us some cute and beautiful pictures for us to look at. So I'm going to just share my screen for us to see. Okay. Look at them, so cute. I love your gown. You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so with this, we've come to the end of our Hyojung Talk Show. But before we leave, let's cheers one last time. to our wine.
One more.
Cheers.
It was very nice having you guys here with us. You looked so amazing with your matching outfits. I'm so grateful that you guys could make it here today. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, so this is the end of our Hyojung Talk Show, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.